Well, hello. So tonight we're delving into one of England's most chilling and mysterious legends, the Southend Werewolf. In the heart of Southend-on-Sea, a mystifying transformation left many of the locals both fascinated and fearful, and has captured the imaginations of many around the world. Among the more compelling figures involved in this bizarre case are Ed and Lorraine Warren, and it's one of their most unusual. So, let's investigate what turned a normal man into a rampaging werewolf. Boy, that's extremely strange. The Southend werewolf case centered on a man named Bill Ramsey. Bill was from Southend-on-Sea, Essex, England. The incidents began in the 1950s, when Ramsey was just 9 years old. He experienced a sudden and inexplicable rage, coupled with unusual strength and a display of animalistic behavior. At one point, being overwhelmed by an intense feeling of cold, followed by a rage that drove him to uproot a fence post with its cement base still attached. He was then seen gnawing at the base's wire mesh. These episodes persisted sporadically, causing significant distress to him and those around him. Ramsey's experiences were characterized by severe physical transformations. During these episodes, he reportedly displayed behaviors reminiscent of a werewolf. These incidents often resulted in violent outbursts, leading to several encounters with law enforcement. One notable incident took place in 1983, when Ramsey, while being admitted to a hospital for observation, reportedly attacked a nurse and police officers, displaying what was described as inhuman strength. He was restrained only with great difficulty, and the episode added to the growing local legend of the Southend werewolf. Ramsey's episodes of transformation were not only physically distressing, but also psychologically tormenting. He often felt this overwhelming sense of rage and described his experiences as being taken over by a force beyond his control. These episodes were intermittent and unpredictable, causing Ramsey to live in fear of his own condition. The werewolf-like behavior included growling, snarling, and even attempting to bite others. His physical strength during these episodes was extraordinary, often requiring multiple people to bring him under control. Despite extensive medical and psychological evaluations, no definitive diagnosis could explain Ramsey's symptoms. His condition remained a mystery, and by the mid-1980s, it led to increasing public and media interest. A friend of Ramsey's named Tony once said of his behavior,
"Bill was always a quiet guy. But when these episodes happened, it was like he was a completely different person. A monster."
In 1989, the case eventually came to the attention of the Warrens, a husband and wife team known for their investigations of the paranormal and supernatural. Ed and Lorraine were renowned figures in the field of paranormal investigation. Ed, a self-taught demonologist, and Lorraine, a clairvoyant and medium, founded the New England Society for Psychic Research, or NESPR, in 1952. They went on to investigate numerous high-profile cases, including the Amityville Horror, the Enfield Poltergeist, the Conjuring House, and the Annabelle Doll. The Warrens approached each case with a combination of spiritual belief and documentation. Their stated mission was to document paranormal phenomena and provide relief to those affected. Their work often involved collaboration with other professionals, including clergy, medical experts, and law enforcement. Ed and Lorraine became involved in the Southend werewolf case after learning about Ramsey's plight, so they traveled to England to meet with Ramsey and his family. The Warrens conducted a detailed investigation, which included interviews, observations, and consultations with other experts, and approached the case with a blend of spiritual insight and investigative principles. The inquiry revealed several key aspects regarding Ramsey's condition. Ramsey exhibited significant physical changes during his episodes, including contorted facial features and increased physical strength. The episodes had a profound psychological impact on Ramsey, causing him distress and fear of harming others. The Warrens explored the historical and cultural context of werewolf legends, considering the possibility of a supernatural influence. And lastly, Ramsey underwent numerous medical examinations, but no physical or psychological condition could fully explain his symptoms. The Warrens ultimately concluded that Bill Ramsey's condition was likely a case of demonic possession, rather than a medical or psychological disorder. They believed that Ramsey was possessed by a demonic entity that manifested in the form of a werewolf. This theory was based on several factors, starting with historical cases of lycanthropy and demonic possession that drew parallels to Ramsey's condition. Lorraine's clairvoyant abilities, detecting a malevolent presence surrounding Ramsey that manifested through lycanthropic behavior, and the inability of medical professionals to diagnose Ramsey's condition suggested a supernatural cause. To provide relief to Ramsey, the Warrens arranged for an exorcism conducted by Bishop Robert McKenna, a Roman Catholic priest known for his involvement in cases of alleged demonic possession. The exorcism took place in Connecticut and was attended by the Warrens along with several witnesses. During the exorcism, Ramsey exhibited violent reactions, but after a prolonged and intense session, he appeared to be relieved of his condition. Following the exorcism, Ramsey's episodes ceased, and he was able to resume a normal life. Said Bishop McKenna,
"What I saw in Bill Ramsey was beyond the realm of normal human behavior. It was as if something otherworldly had taken over him."
The South End werewolf case remains one of the most unusual and compelling cases investigated by the Warrens. While skeptics may question the supernatural explanation, the Warrens' involvement appeared to provide a resolution for Bill Ramsey, who had suffered for decades. The case highlights the intersection of folklore, psychology, and the paranormal, challenging our understanding of reality and the limits of human experience. With all that said, the South End werewolf case raises several intriguing questions and theories. Some experts suggest that Ramsey's condition could be a rare psychiatric disorder, possibly involving dissociative identity disorder or intermittent explosive disorder. The lack of a definitive medical diagnosis, however, opens a space for alternative explanations and speculation. As far as its purported supernatural elements, the Warrens firmly believe that Ramsey was possessed by a demonic entity. This theory is supported by Ramsey's extreme physical strength, animalistic behavior, and the accepted success of the exorcism. The case also touches on the broader cultural and historical context of werewolf legends. The transformation into a beastly form and uncontrollable rage are consistent with traditional accounts of lycanthropy, suggesting a possible psychological or cultural manifestation of deep-seated fears and archetypes. Critics argue that Ramsey's experiences could be attributed to psychological conditions, such as clinical lycanthropy, a rare psychiatric syndrome in which a person believes they can transform into a wolf or other animal. Others suggest that the events were exaggerated or misinterpreted, feeding into the hysteria and sensationalism often associated with paranormal cases. Others suggest that the case was hyped up by the media and by the Warrens, who were known for their involvement in high-profile and controversial cases, and that the facts may have been amplified or even distorted. While skeptics may attribute Ramsey's condition to psychological or medical causes, the lack of a definitive explanation and a dramatic resolution through exorcism compel others to support the Warrens' theories. Despite the controversy and skepticism, the tale of Bill Ramsey, the South End werewolf, remains an undeniable example of modern folklore and the intersection of psychology, paranormal investigation, and media. The story has been featured in books, documentaries, and television shows, contributing to the ongoing fascination with werewolves and other supernatural creatures in popular culture. There isn't much publicly available information about Bill Ramsey's current activities or whereabouts. Since the peak of his alleged werewolf episodes and a subsequent exorcism in the late 1980s, Ramsey has largely stayed out of the public eye, likely choosing to live a private life away from the media and public scrutiny following the intense attention his case received. But his story remains a part of paranormal folklore, primarily discussed in the context of the bizarre and unexplained events that occurred during his reported transformations. And so the legend of the South End werewolf remains an enigma, shrouded in mystery. Whether it's the tale of a cursed soul doomed to roam the night, or merely the product of imagination and superstition, the story continues to captivate those who explore it. Now, the truth may never fully be known, but as we conclude our journey into this chilling tale, we're reminded that sometimes the most unsettling stories are the ones that linger just out of our reach, leaving us to wonder, why? So until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and if you hear howling from next door, you best go check on your neighbors.